I honestly was thinking earlier of like what kind of holidays they have in your world, if they have a Thanksgiving or Christmas kind of thing.
I don't know.
I thought of it. I'm like, I'm not gonna ask because he's gonna be like, "Go away. I have enough to think about."
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, with all the sales going on, hopefully you'll be able to get one, crazy lady.
Okay, I think we have everybody here.
Yep. Everybody of our current group.
Okay. Who wants to go over what happened last time?
Heather, do you want to do it? Or I'm reading over it real quick to remind myself.
What do we remember last? Things?
That's the thing.
Stuff?
Mm-hmm. It was an exciting stuff.
So let's see. If I remember correctly, we got a little bit of information, from, I think from all three of them. But, you know, different people heard different segments of the statements that were kind of like whispered, muttered, you know, through their trance sort of thing. We checked the poor people over, the were people, and Ori did some digging, found out that there is in fact a rundown medical building in the forest surrounding the area. Did some digging just in general, and I can't remember the words that they said.
Truck run far.
Yes, there we go.
Or
So
ran far. But
we were
yeah.
gonna go check out the medical facility. Right? Maybe?
Yeah. I think it might be useful for us to like possibly follow the trail of like where we found the lycanthropes that attacked everybody. See if it leads anywhere.
The trail that they came from?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, and we found trackers in them. And
Yeah.
if correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong, well, we tracked the trackers back to the facility, didn't we?
I do not believe you did, no.
We didn't get that far, but it was a really good lead. No. It was pretty much you found that, and then you talked to Elmer about it, and then there was conversation about the lycanthropes saying those words, and then what's her face? The gnome came running in. She was like, "There's something in their blood."
Yeah, I saw the conversation about liver. I had totally forgotten about that. I guess I was like super tired or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, Mink said that. There you go.
Yeah. I could have sworn that I had looked into the trackers though. That we had gotten one out or something, or we'd done a scan on it and it led back to the facility.
I don't think you
But
have equipment to
I guess
do
I'm
a
wrong.
scan on.
Can I? Oh, fancy one.
I'm looking back to see what you had.
Okay. Like yeah. If you did, I didn't write it down. But that was a small thing. Like I wouldn't have
How
written
long
it down
ago
anyways.
was it that we played?
October 17th.
Oh. Okay. Got it.
With the holidays and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yep.
Nonsense and things. Nonsense and craziness.
I'm not seeing anything that would have said that you had like got into the trackers. I think Almer said there might be some equipment in the truck that could possibly like figure out what signal it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you hadn't gone
Oh!
to that.
Yeah, we were talking about radio signals versus other types of signals, and then I did like extensive research on like GPS or something, or like tracking devices, and now the FBI's on to me and knows that I'm a secret spy, and all sorts of stuff.
Are you saying that in game or in real life?
In real life.
Cheryl says she doesn't think you tracked it back. That you were going to look for the signal.
Yes. Sounds about right. I think we're gonna try radio something or other and see if we can get the signal or something. I don't even remember. Sounds like a good idea. Opinions?
I think it's a good something we can do. Absolutely, it's a really good lead. We should totally follow it through.
Okay. Pretty much one of the only leads we have other than truck run far. And there's an abandoned medical facility nearby that...
Military. You had it right.
Yeah, and there...
Military. You had it right.
I still didn't understand you, I'm sorry.
Military?
Yeah.
Military? Was it military? I thought you said it was medical.
It was military. Ex-military.
Okay, so ex-military facility nearby, and there was a road that led to this area, I believe, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, to get to the town, Red Glen, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
The way it was set up with the GPS and the overhead look that you saw, there's one road leading in and out of Red Glen, and I believe I said it was about 40 minutes or so drive. I can't remember the time exactly that I gave you. But it wasn't exactly close, which is why Elfine was curious of how they had passed without trace on them when they showed up. You looked in, I think it was a 40-mile range, and saw that there is a old military facility.
Nah, I have you doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That could possibly be within range if they were trucked in.
Yeah. So, I guess let's try to track the trackers and stuff.
How exactly does that work, tracking the trackers? Is it strictly through a computer, or...?
We need to find the frequency of the trackers, I suppose. I don't know, I'm not an actual, like, super spy. I only work with what I know.
The reason I'm asking, does it mean that, like, it's strictly going to be Almer and Ori kind of doing something? Like, it's going to take time, or do they actually have to physically go out and, like, try to find, like, the sequencer? I don't know.
Almer speaks up and says, Ori, you're trying to track the tracker?
Yes. Trace them back to, like, the...
headquarters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually the way that trackers themselves work is they emit a signal. And the person who's looking for that signal just receives it. It's not usually a back and forth. So if we're tracking the signal, we're going to find these guys that we already have.
Right, that's a good point. Wonder if it would be possible to try and still ping, like if they have this, all three have the same signal, then what if you could see if you could ping more of the signal and then follow that signal?
Isn't it like tracking a phone call in a way, right? Same concept? It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, it has to come from somewhere. But say you have like more than these three, and then they all have the same frequency, and then you go find one of those frequencies. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just voicing. I was like, well, maybe I see what Elmer's saying too. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Almera thinks about it for a moment. He's like, that could actually work, yeah. If we can find some kind of similarity for their signal, or at least a channel that they appear on, might.
Do we
be
need
able
to dig
find
one
others.
out? That would be horrible. I hope we don't have to.
No, I don't think we have to. We shouldn't
Okay.
have to.
Okay. Let's not do that and say we did. So, something on the truck.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go look at the truck. I guess. Sound like a plan?
Alright, so
What was on the truck? Just equipment? Your equipment?
Yes.
hopefully something
Tracking.
that we
Tracker.
can use.
Trackins. Equipment.
Okay, so that's definitely Almera and Ori. Anyone else going with?
How long will it take? Just guesstimation.
In character, out of.
Like in character, I guess. It's just like
I'm just trying to figure
Can't
out
rush.
if
Wait, I have a perfect response. You can't rush perfection.
Marsh would laugh at that. He's like, touche. Marsh is really just wondering, like, if he has time. Like, he had kicked around the idea of, like, maybe having the healers attempt to scry one of the missing people. Like, do they have time to, like, do something else while Elmer and Ori are doing that? Because he's kind of useless with that.
How long does it take to scry?
I'm looking that up now. Trying to figure out if
I think
anybody
we
else
actually
has
had talked about that. Something about like detect magic and trying to track them or something.
Yeah, they
Or-
they tried to scry the missing person within 8 hours of like them being abducted, which there's like magical fields they can put up to obstruct somebody's scrying, and it only lasts for a short time frame. But it's expensive to maintain, so it's like it seems like it'd be the most likely if you're abducting somebody to do it immediately. You know?
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way to tell somebody's magic apart from someone else's magic. You know?
Cheryl says we should probably remove the trackers anyways. We don't know if someone will come looking for them or not.
I'm assuming
And what is-
you're saying Cheryl is in character?
We could create just a localized EMP for them. I don't know.
I thought you didn't you do something to disable the trackers?
I don't believe
Like-
so, no.
Because I thought you did.
I had
something-
only just found out about the trackers. And that was from looking them over, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly.
Yeah, you noticed them being shaved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are better than I am, Cheryl. I would get so confused switching back and forth.
Well, she's not talking also, so she has to really focus on what she's doing with like the typing.
That is true.
To that, Almera would say, I agree that we could remove the trackers because someone could come looking for them, but that might also be to our benefit if they do.
I second that.
I knew there was somebody I forgot to make.
Will said that it might not work that way, Cheryl. That it's kind of like a one-way sort of thing. What we're hoping to do is find more of the same frequency, kind of find the same pings and then follow those other pings that aren't located here.
Mm-hmm.
Marsh, can you roll? Marsh, call high or low.
Hi.
I agree. This is true. Almer might just not, no.
Don't tell him that.
I do it all the time.
Oh, you're so brave. Good thing you're cute.
Marsh.
I am this, bravest little scared mouse ever.
Seriously, because you know how far to take it. That's just wisdom.
Marsh.
I.
Elphine looks at you and says, if you're wanting to scry, I can do it once, and it takes about 10 minutes.
Oh, that'll be no time at all.
Well, 10 minutes to cast it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a feasible lead. It might be able to give us more information to perhaps not waste further time. Am I the only one who thinks this?
What would scrying do?
It would give us an idea of, it would allow us to see the person that we're scrying, possibly
the person
see their
that
where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are we planning on letting them loose?
Hmm?
Letting them
It's-
go back to their, I don't know, captor, creator, Stockholm
The
syndrome.
way
I don't
that
know.
scrying works is you basically look into a crystal ball.
Okay.
And when you look into this crystal ball, you have to be focusing on the person that you want to find. And provided that person lets you see them, or they're able to be seen, because they can resist it themselves,
Okay.
then your vision goes from looking at this crystal ball to looking through a sensor that's following the location or person that you're trying to see.
I gotcha. I understand.
So it takes you to their location, and you can kind of look around from there.
Okay. So we're trying to find another captive, right?
Yeah, we have 9 we're missing, right?
Does it have a range limitation?
Technically, no.
Okay. Really, Cheryl?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the cleric looks to Marsh and says, yeah, I can do it once today. If we want to do any more than that, we would have to wait until I can rest and get my strength back.
Understandably. I think 1 should be enough, though.
Okay, so I'm assuming you are going to be going with Elphine.
Yeah, I guess. Anybody else going to come with me? I suddenly have a feeling we shouldn't be leaving Minx here with the She's just going to slash into him.
Santa is here along with other villagers, along with
But they don't-
Eilon.
They don't understand how crazy she is. I'm saying this out of character, by the way. I'm not saying kill them. I slash them as in remove the tracker.
You're not gonna kill them. You're just gonna shove liver down their throats. And then they die from asphyxiation.
Because they can't breathe from the horror.
Yeah, liver inhalation. Like guys, I don't know. Oh, you'll blend it up first. Cool. So you'll drown them in liver. Got it.
Mr. Ilon, what are you doing?
Alan would probably go with Elfine and the others.
Okay.
Righto.
Where's your player token?
Right here. Right there.
Oh, that's him. Okay. Right
Snake
there. There.
Bear snake.
She's in the process of getting around one.
I already gave it to you.
Oh. I can't see. No, I can't see anything on Discord because I'm streaming.
Ooh.
Oh. Crap.
So let's quick talk about him before he could see it.
Okay.
Take care of this really quick. Make this really quick. Save. And you said dragon one? Yeah?
Hmm?
You said the dragon one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I need some apple cider in my life.
Do you not have any at the house?
I'm not sure. I know we're out of hot chocolate.
How dare you?
That's tragedy.
Will.
Isn't it?
Hot chocolate give.
How am I going to give you hot chocolate?
Magic. Duh.
Just because I'm a DM does not mean I am magic.
Lies. Nah, I'll get some sort of something.
Yeah. So I'm drinking hot tea actually. And apparently Cheryl has hot chocolate.
I'm drinking air.
Ooh.
The
Hot
finest.
chocolate and hot apple cider. I'm gonna go live with Cheryl. Bye.
Are you sure you want to do that? She's probably going to put you to work with her job. Like,
I know, right?
60.
like, yeah, I will pay you in hot chocolate and apple cider. Now do my work. Do my bidding.
The best bribe.
Yeah, it could certainly be a lot worse.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Cheryl. I'm just pointing out the facts so that Heather knows what she's getting into.
Do I know? Do I really?
You can't say you're oblivious to the fact.
Free room and board and hot chocolate. Heck yes.
Is it really free room and board, though, if she's doing labor to compensate?
Oh my gosh, are you a lawyer? Like, what the hell? Dang. I guess you're right. I don't know. I'm simple. You're like, here's a cookie. Now go do hard manual labor. Okay, yay, cookie. Oh my gosh. You should see me like play Overwatch. Like, I'll go be a support, like a healer, and then somebody's like, "Yeah, thanks," and I like stick my neck out horribly and overheal everyone just because I got one thank you.
Aw.
Yeah.
You're just so sweet as it is. I'm not surprised.
Ah.
Okay.
The issue is that most people are assholes, so it's not your fault.
This is very, very true.
Give me
So
that.
true. I'm gonna go get
Thank you, Will.
some cider. I'll be right back.
Okay, so Minx, what are you doing? You're staying there to run more tests. Anyway, Marsh, Elfine, and Shanta. Yeah, Shanta hears you talking with Elfine about this. She chimes up and says, sure, we can try it again. And says to Elfine, I guess we're going back to your place, your house? Elfine looks to Shanta and says, yeah, that's where I'm keeping the crystal. So let's go ahead and head over there. So Elfine, Marsh, Shanta, and Eilon are all going to that. I am going to just select you guys and drag y'all over there. So it's
Okay.
a little easier. Oh my god.
You love it. Don't act like you don't.
That's y'all's pull.
Wee.
Do I have anybody for that? I don't know. I thought I did. Oh no. Okay. Alright, so Elfine leads the three of you back to a small little house that has a building just like offset a little bit from it. Just a little shed. And she walks up, goes into the door, and she says, come in, I have to find the orb. And she walks in and starts digging around in a dresser. Santa comes in and leans up against the wall. As she's looking, she glances over her shoulder at Marsh and somewhat at Shanta and says, who did you have in mind that you wanted to scry?
The more familiar that the caster is with the person, the better the chances are of success, right?
Correct.
Okay. Marsh would outline that specifically. Be like, there's 9 people left. Who do you think you'd be the most successful of, like, actually scrying?
I know everyone in the town. Everyone at least once has come to me for something.
Oh, damn.
She's a healer. That's not surprising.
Mm-hmm, sure. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up now.
You're so honored tonight, Heather. I love it.
And we did have hot cider.
Awesome. I'm quite jealous.
Uh-huh.
I knew it.
I have your address around here somewhere. I will send you all of the hot cider. The fuck you doing, Minx?
Exactly. Nobody's there. That's why I'm just like, oh man, Shanta even came with us. We're kind of...
God.
We're gonna go back and there's gonna be like blood splattered on the walls.
There's still other villagers there.
They don't know how
Beat her
crazy
own.
she is. Because they beat her up.
Yeah, it'll be your own.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
She was like trying to get out of Splinter with a dagger. Not kidding.
She thinks for a couple moments, like she stops looking for the orb. Is it an orb or crystal? It's a crystal. She stops looking for, Actually, no, that's what she would have. I like that better. Yeah, I like that better.
Oh man.
She's digging around in the drawer, and she pulls up and says, ah, there it is. And she pulls up this small, very ornate silver mirror. And she sets it on top of the dresser. She says, who all have we found? We have Nessa, we have Quiet, Adrian. Who's missing? She thinks for a moment. Shanta looks to Marsh and says, do you still have the list I gave you?
Sorry. Stop it. Marsh has a list. He'd be like, yeah, and he'd hand it over.
Shanta walks over and shows the list. These are the ones missing. Lambar, Day, Odra, Raymond. She just goes down the list. And she gets to Rua. She's like, Rua, Flama. He's like, ah, yes, Rua. Shanta, would you mind going and speaking to her mother? And getting something of hers, please? And Shanta nods and she walks out. Rua is a interesting companion of mine. She wants to try and take up the craft, so she's been spending a fair amount of time with me. Just
Okay.
haven't seen her in a few days. Not quite on the forefront at the moment with all the people missing. But she says, as soon as Shanta gets back, I can begin. Shanta is gone for a few minutes, and just to give everybody else some time, we're going to move over to Ori and Almer, because they were the first ones originally.
What up, boo?
Okay, so y'all are going over to the truck to try and find some piece of equipment that will help.
Yeah.
Okay. Truck is over in the parking garage, or parking area. If you need a quick pull over there, I can grab you.
What'd you say?
Do you need a quick pull over to the truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was that close. Hello there.
So, we are looking for some kind of radio receiver that we can use to track these guys.
Right.
Because if we can track them, we might be able to find others. Yeah. So, Almer hops in the back of the truck and he starts digging around for things.
Okay.
It takes him a couple seconds, a couple moments. And he's like, "Thank you, Bato." God, it's right here. Who knew him being anal would help us one day? Anyway. I found it. He hands you a little antenna, a little handheld antenna.
Okay.
And he's holding a receiver. Says, that there should let us scan and see what we can find. Just gotta find the right signal.
Shouldn't you be the one to hold the antenna long way?
You did. You... Nope. No one will know. You're good.
I'm so.
I forgot the command.
I'm like talking to. I'm whispering to her, and then she did whisper.
Forgot the command. I'm sorry.
It's
Slash
okay.
W, then the name.
It's good
I
to keep them
mean-
guessing.
If you need me to climb on your shoulders so I can get some height, I will, but
Almer glares at you, takes the antenna from you, gives you the receiver.
not my fault you're a giraffe.
Alright, since you're the smart one here, you tell me how to use it.
No one said I was smart. I mean, I'm like picking fights
Modest.
with you, duh. Ori looks it over a little bit, and is it like one of those things that would like have a screen on it or something, and then it would have like little dots of light on where you find different pings or whatever?
A radar screen? Yeah. It's similar to
Okay.
that.
Alright, then I guess fuck with it till it works. Wait, it's a tried and true method, man.
Do you have Tinkerer's tools or anything like that?
Yeah, I do.
Give me Tinkerer's tools with int.
No. Tinker's tools what?
With int.
Int?
Yes.
Thank you. I was. Alright, ready? And not 20. Ah, so close.
That's off of an 11. Jesus.
So close.
So,
I almost had it.
you're looking at this receiver.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there trying to figure it out. You figure out how to turn it on. And you're looking over it, trying to figure out what everything does, and you finally figure out which one's changing the frequencies that you're looking for. And
Would it help to say what I'm looking for
sure.
specifically?
What are you looking for specifically?
Specifically, I'm looking for a group of 3 in a nearby location. And nothing else around it. Trying to be as specific as possible. Hoping that it will help me.
First things first, let's see what we got here. Okay.
To be honest, I don't know how this radar would work. Does it show my location on it?
Looking at the way the screen is set up, you get the idea that wherever the antenna is that's connected to it is going to be the center focal point.
Okay.
High or low?
Wow.
Okay. So, you figure out how to work it and how to change the frequencies that you're looking at.
Mhm.
And within a few minutes of just clicking through, having Almir walk around a little bit, you start seeing different frequencies at first. Like, at first you pick up one frequency that has probably 20 dots on the screen. You pick up another that has a single dot, and you go a couple past that, and then you find one that has 3, and they look like they're clumped fairly close together.
Okay.
And the screen is pinging it from that direction.
I'd like to make a note on what frequency that is,
Okay.
so we don't forget. But I'm gonna flip back to the one that has 1.
The one that has 1 looks like it's right on top of your location.
Okay. Okay, now just for curiosity's sake, the one that has 20, are they fairly close together or are they spread out? Am I making you do too much work?
No.
Okay.
For the one that has 20, they're all really close to you, but not as close as the one that had 1. And they're in all directions except, like, this 90.
Okay, cool. Alright, that's cool. That's what I figured might happen, but I just wanted to be, like, 100% sure. I'm gonna switch back to the one that has 3 and say I think we have the right frequency, but let's head in the direction of it and make sure that it's correct.
Okay.
Work for you?
That works for me. So the two of you start walking towards those 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jump over to Makes in a second while y'all are walking. Let me read if it's anything that I need. Are you actually searching for a razor? Oh god. This is right about a piece of wood and starts carving it.
Don't you have like a pocket knife or something that you could use? Does it have to be a razor? Now I'm kind of curious. I wonder if gnomes grow facial hair like dwarves do. And like, you know how female dwarves have beards and mustaches and so on and so forth.
You are working on a werebore. Do you want to do a Tinker's Tools to see how well you're coming along with that? Or did you want to do something else while everyone else is out doing their thing? You seem to be making pretty good progress on it.
So like these clockwork animal things, are they similar to like golems or something?
No
Sort of like
advantage.
voodoo nonsense?
It just attributes to why you have such a good standard roll. Clockwork creatures?
Yeah? What? I was curious. I don't know how they really do things. Or if they're like
her
voodoo
clockwork bear that
Yeah.
she has. You would have to get that from her. I haven't read up on them that much.
Okay. Oh. Like just a distraction.
Okay. Ori and Almera walking back. About the time that they're starting to make their walk back, Shanta comes back around and comes in the house. And she walks over to Elphine and hands her yeah, that would work.
Bush tree thing.
She hands her what appears to be a ball of hair, like strands, pieces of hair.
Hair?
Hair.
Oh, this isn't where we are, right?
Correct. No, this is back with Marsh and Elphine. So she hands this hair to Elphine. She says, she looks at Santa kind of curiously. Okay, where did you even find this? She says that Rua has a hairbrush, and I just took some of the hair that was in the brush. And Elphine looks at her for a second, like, kind of misbelieving. And she shakes her head and is like, if it's hers, it'll work. And you see her start to cast. Shanta steps back to give her space and says, we're going to be here for a little bit, you guys. So, make yourself comfortable, as you can, anyway. Do y'all do anything in the 10 minutes it takes her to cast it?
Ilon just sits there,
Okay.
saying silent.
Marsh, anything? We'll come back to Jess. Alright. Ori, where'd you run off to? Go back in.
Put myself back. I have some questions though that I just thought of.
Okay.
First off, the 3 points, are they getting closer to us as we're moving closer to them?
Yes, they were.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna switch back to the 20 people?
The 20 screen?
Yeah.
Those are also surrounding you.
Okay. Are those points moving?
No.
As we get closer, are there any in the same location as the 3 points?
There seems to be one in the same location as the 3 points.
Okay. I wanna look for that. I'm curious.
As you're looking for that, you get back to the building of the carpentry shop, and I'm assuming you come in this door here.
Yeah.
The screen that you're looking at can be dialed down, and you blow up the image a little bit more, and before you switch back to the single, you see that the 3 looks like it's coming from here, here, and here.
Okay.
So switching back to the one that had 20, the frequency that had 20, you get something from here. Looking at that wall, you see that there is a TV mounted on the wall above that dresser.
Okay. Do TVs even give off that kind of freak? What?
Mm-hmm.
Working on limited knowledge here. TVs. Would a TV even give off that kind of frequency, or would that be a cable thing? Would that be?
They can give and
Like-
take.
Huh?
They can give and take.
Okay, so it could be in theory that the frequency is a TV,
Mm-hmm.
and it could
Something-
be that the other frequencies also could be television sets.
Mm-hmm. Something about those TVs could be giving off this frequency. Yes.
Okay, alright, cool. That settles that. Alright, fine. So, I would definitely tell Ahmed, hey, we found the frequency channel. There was one that I'm assuming that the truck was giving off, or we were giving off. 3 that these people were giving off, and then for some reason TVs are giving off a frequency as well on another channel. Those are the only nearby ones that I saw. But we found the right channel for these fellows over here. And I'm gonna point to our rare friend that didn't transmit the truth.
Well, I'm glad some of our training has seeped through.
You're glad what?
Some of our training has seeped through.
Oh yeah, you know. Different things here and there.
Okay, so you know how to use that thing. Now we need to figure out if there are any more.
Yes! Step 2. Since we've moved locations, have any other pings happened on this frequency for the were animals? Are there any other nearby pings?
Looking at the various ranges of that piece of equipment, and looking at it, you figure out that the farthest range you can look out to is 2 miles. You don't see anything in that 2 mile range.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
Well, I guess while we're waiting for them to finish up with their scrying, we can start figuring out how to find that that compound that you found.
Ah, damn.
Goodness, you guys work fast.
The deepest building in the world is 7,900.
The deepest
Man.
building?
Yes, like
How do
underground.
they... Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
yeah, yeah. Jinping Underground Laboratory is the deepest building. 7,900 feet or 2.4 kilometers under a mountain in eastern China.
Hmm.
The equivalent of 7 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of
That's insane. Like,
it.
the concept. I wouldn't want to go that deep underground.
Yeah, so hopefully if there is an underground facility at the military compound, it's not that deep because we only have 2 miles.
Santa looks over to Marsh and says, "No, it's not too forward at all. I've been where Tiger for has it been now? She thinks for a little bit. It's 21 years now.
Wow.
Lycans kind of run in my family. Not necessarily the same species, but we tend to, I guess, keep it close to the chest."
So you chose to become a lycanthrope?
Short answer, yes. It's it's not really a bad choice for me or others involved in my family. We don't have to make the choice, but most of us choose to. If I remember correctly, y'all know about Aramaki or no?
Where are you going with it?
I'm trying to remember if there were. Yes, I remember now. Okay.
She's his niece?
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I can't remember if she said it, but he was like, "Yeah, my uncle is he decided to go the path of the bear, but I felt Tiger was more fitting for me."
Really? Hmm. Okay. Marsh would like raise his eyebrows and say, "It's like I find it interesting that anybody would want to be willfully become a Lycan, considering so many consider it a curse."
People consider it a curse because they're ill-informed, and because a few bad eggs will ruin a bunch. That old saying holds true with everything. Not all of us are bad, as you've seen.
Not. See, honestly, you seem like normal people.
For those who are strong-willed enough or choose to fight it, we are normal people. For the people who want to easy out or just weak-minded, those are the ones you usually hear about.
So it's strictly a mind over. It's a mindset that enables you to be stronger than the instincts. And
there are times when the instincts could take over, but with proper preparations, it is possible to assist the person, as she points to herself, with fighting the instincts. But in some cases, it's just too much. For example, a full moon. Those do still affect some not so strong-willed individuals. And we take proper precautions to make sure they don't hurt themselves or others. Not that there are many people they can hurt in the village, but we do try to make sure that those that are not as comfortable in their second skin are well taken care of.
So this is a constant fight that you have to endure. Like, a constant internal struggle you have to endure.
For some, yes. Out of character. Ilon.
Yes.
Have we discussed how long you've actually been one? I can't remember.
Hold on. I think he's been one for like a year? Yeah, a year. Roughly.
Okay, yeah. Shanta gestures over to Ilon. And says, sorry to use you as an example, but Ilon here is one of the fresher members of our village. He's only been a Lycan for about a year, and I feel that he has it under control. Have you had any, I guess we'll call them flare-ups, Ilon?
He kind of just looks up silently and just whispers, not many, but some.
I see. So every lycanthrope is essentially suspect around the full moon, then?
Shanta kind of gets a little bit of a hard edge on her look, looking over at Marsh.
Uh-huh. Poor Blunt Marsh.
Saying that would be the same as equating anyone who decides to drink that they're automatically going to be a drunk driver. Are you generalizing that all Lycans are bloodthirsty beasts as soon as the moon comes up?
I'm assuming she's saying this with like a good bit of like vehemence, right?
A good bit of what?
She's definitely irritated.
She's politician mad, is the best way I can put it.
Serious face.
It's like, you've said something that has not really meshed well with her, but the public figure in her can't react to it negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So you see her, like, somewhat visibly biting her tongue back,
Okay.
but she's still being civil.
I see. Marsha correct himself and say, I'm not criticizing, I am just trying to better understand. Lycanthropes have a very bad rap. And even, like, sources on the internet are very lacking with supportive evidence to say that lycanthropes are not dangerous.
Like I said, the ones that get the most media coverage are usually the bad eggs. It's the same thing for most things. We do what we can to enhance our appearance and to spread our message with select members out there in the public eye, but we can only do and affect what others want to believe. At about this time, let's see. Okay, so that adds that and that. Against what?
Ah,
I don't think she can beat that.
can Marsh get one more question in before,
Sure.
just closed out the window. He just wants to ask, it's like, well, considering your experience as a lycan for so many years, what information would you want to educate the ill-informed?
Just ever mention that I don't like you.
I know. This has gotten a lot. You made him, like, good. That's why it's just like, okay, there's such a bad reputation. It's just like, well, I want to learn more about this. It's totally Marsh. Because you could just say, like, she goes to respond and then Elfie, like, starts talking or something. That's fine.
I'm trying to figure out if she would.
Hmm?
I'm trying to figure out if she would, like, go into, like, full spiel or not. Or she'd just be like, you know what, take this document. Just read that.
Because that's what he's looking for. He's not being mean. He's just trying to understand.
There's no real counter for that. What's your passive persuasion?
Let me look. 13?
Okay. And she feels you're being real with her.
Yeah, I'm being very sincere.
She opens her mouth for a second and looks at you. It's quite a bit to be saying right now. But while you all are looking for our missing citizens, I'll get you some documentation from our point of view. And you can read over that.
And be doing a lot of research, it would seem. Considering like the list and stuff. But yeah.
Oh no, this isn't for those purposes. This is just for your own time. Anyone we can get to help us with our cause and spread our truths is an ally.
I appreciate the time.
They appreciate you trying. But as that conversation is wrapping up, almost as soon as Shanta finishes talking, Elfine says, "Ah, it's connected." Well, she is alive. That's always a good thing. It looks like she's in a bright room. She's on a table. Looks to be that she's strapped to the table.
What does her condition look like? Like physical condition?
She seems to be healthy. She's breathing. I can see the rise and fall of her chest. So she is breathing. Not conscious at the moment, but breathing.
Is she hooked up to IVs? Is there anybody else in the area that you can see?
There appear to be screens behind her. I'm not sure what they're recording, but there are lines attached to her. One of them might be a heart monitor. I'm not sure what the others are. There's a lot of screens. Bright light shining down on her.
Tile floor?
Someone just
Seems
walked in the
very...
room.
Say that again?
Someone just walked in the room. They are wearing a clean suit? Like a hazmat biohazard suit or something? And
So you can't see their face.
no, not from the angle of the sensor, no. They're walking to a computer. They're typing something, but they haven't interacted with her yet. The room, it looks like a clean room. Like it's just
It's a sterile room, like at a hospital, perhaps?
yes. Something like that, yes. The figure in the clean suit is walking back out, but he's just standing at the door. And he didn't touch the door, but the door opened, so it probably is a clean room, yes. And that's odd. There looks to be cameras just watching in the room.
This camera's watching? Okay.
But I'm not seeing anything else in this.
Can you read anything from the computer?
The only thing I can really make out is it says... has a file header that says subject 2156, but I'm not familiar with that script after that. I'll keep watching her until if anything happens, but I can't really say where she is.
Can you describe the script at all? Like, maybe to help clarify? Like, I know that's really a hard question of, like, how do you describe script, you know? But, like, sometimes, like, I don't know, you can, like, pick out, like, Sanskrit compared to kanji or something.
Let's see if I can find anything. Let's see if I can do this. She says, find me a piece of paper and I'll see if I can draw what I'm seeing.
Things got distracted hardcore. Yeah, so does she have any paper laying out, or?
She doesn't have any laying out, no.
I'm assuming by her saying that it's like, well, he has the list, right? Or does she still have that list?
The list was taken
flip
over,
it over,
and probably laying next to her on the dresser.
Okay, you gotta flip it over, have her write on that.
Is there a way to make this always on top? God damn it. No, it's not.
The person that came walking in, what was their stature? Were they tall?
They seem to be at least 5 foot tall,
Okay.
judging by other things in the room.
Okay.
There we go, that's what I was looking for.
Are you really using kanji? Because it's kind of what it looks like.
No.
Or maybe it's dragon script it looks like. I used to have alphabet for dragon script.
I want this page open. Damn it. What she can see, that is what she scribbles onto the paper. Like once someone puts a pen into her hand.
Okay. Does Marsh recognize it?
What languages do you speak?
Common, Dwarven, Elvish, Gnomish, and Draconic.
You don't know it by looking at it. But give me... Give me an unskilled int roll.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Because I totally thought you said, like, an ent, and I was like, huh?
Yeah, int, int. Unskilled int.
I was thinking of, like, a tree ent. Yeah, sorry, it's my brain.
You're good. I know what you mean.
Been on a roll today with, like, Lord of the Rings stuff for whatever reason.
That is not ringing any bells for you. Wait, are y'all sitting in a dark room? Can y'all actually see what y'all are looking at? Or what I
Yes.
have y'all?
I could see.
Okay. I didn't know if you could see the inside of that house or not. Because for me, it looks like you're sitting in a black room. So, are you going to sit with her while she finishes out just watching?
Oh, yeah. See if she has anything else.
Okay. I'm gonna move over to other people for now.
Okay, that's fine.
If anything else happens later. Okay. Ori and Marsh.
Hi.
Ori and Elmer.
I need to recognize that crackling sound I heard. Okay, yeah. Ori and Almir. Sorry.
Hi.
The two of you are in this building looking at the three lichens. What are y'all attempting to do now?
I told you.
Can you remind me of this?
No. I wanted to see if there were any other pings in the nearby area.
Okay. And that was said that there were no more pings within the 2-mile range that you can see.
Okay, so there's nothing in the immediate area?
No.
I don't know what else to do, to be honest. I guess wait for the scrying to be done. No, that's not all. I guess I would like to ask Almer if it would be possible to not necessarily remove the trackers. There we go. Right this second. I mean, obviously they're going to have to come out eventually, because it's not good to leave that sort of stuff just floating around in bodies. But
What, you don't want your tech implants yet?
no,
They come
I'm
free
good.
with every contract.
I'm good. I don't need nanobots or anything of this.
But you already signed.
Anyways, not gonna lie, like, the thing from Metal Gear Solid, freaking, when they all passed out except for Johnny because nanobots, it always freaks me out. It does! It weirds me out! Anyways, that's not part of D&D. So, would it be possible to send a signal to the trackers and basically create a disruption?
In a sense, you want to burn them out.
I want to get his opinion on kind of bouncing ideas off of him. And Minx, you know, I would say this in Minx's general area as well.
Well,
Oh, bye.
I'm sure that our guests won't like it, but
Huh?
one way
Why?
we could burn them out is to essentially burn them out. Hold on, listen. I'm not talking about using fire. I'm talking about a large current that will fry the circuits. But we have to find it first.
That put them in distress?
It'll hurt like hell. I mean, you do have that taser, and you've seen what it does to people. They won't like
It won't
it.
stop their heart or anything, will it?
It shouldn't.
Oh, what? Maybe?
It shouldn't.
It... Ah! No! There must be a better way.
As Mink said earlier, you won't know until you try.
I'm just going to give Valmer a glare. Let's shock you and see how you like it.
You have to shock them?
Almer gives you a look.
I'm gonna give you a look right back. We'll keep that on the back burner, I suppose.
Minx, what you missed is you are hearing...
They're bickering like old married couple.
You're hearing Ori and Almer having a not-so-heated discussion about how they can possibly burn out these circuits. And Almer is recommending basically tasing these people on the chips themselves, or the implants themselves, and burning the circuits out that way. Also, let me know what you're rolling for before you roll it, so I can at least come up with a DC.
What are you looking for, though? I'm confused.
Okay. How exactly do you approach the werebore? I'm pretty sure your passive persuasion is higher than that. What's your passive intimidation? Okay, as you're approaching, she sees you coming closer, but in just her frightened state, starts straining against the restraints of the chair. Not really getting any ground and trying to get loose, but she is struggling in the chair.
Uh,
Do you try to look her over while she's doing that? Or do you try and calm her down in some way? So you're approaching it from the clinical standpoint of I'm just looking this thing over. It's moving, I don't care. Okay. In looking her over, you do see that there are there's scarring. Some of it looks recent, some of it looks old. Focusing in on the ones that look recent, you are seeing one that looks like it was somewhat forcefully healed over. It was just sped along in its healing process, possibly stitched back together. You do see an area that has a bump. And how would they see that? It looks, excuse me, it looks like it is on her left thigh. Did you hear that, Artie? Left thigh. While you're looking into that, I'm gonna jump back over to Marsh for a second. During the rest of the 10-minute period of the scry, she doesn't report that anyone else has come into the room.
Nobody does?
No one else has come in now.
Okay.
When she comes back out, she says, she looks healthy, but there's no way to tell if she actually is. Just we know that she's breathing, and there are people there.
Mm-hmm. It gives us a little bit of insight to know what we're getting into, at least. Thank you very much for your time.
I wish I could have done more.
It might have helped more than you realize. We know that we're looking for a facility that that's sterile. That's important. Not every place has access to that type of equipment.
This is true. She thinks for a second. She says, or she looks up at Eilon. Eilon, dear, aren't you medically trained?
He kind of just looks up and silently says, "Yeah, somewhat. Still learning."
I'm sure it would be up to these people, but would you be willing to go with them and just make sure that anyone they find is medically stable? And if not, could you help them be? I want to make sure that we get back as many people as we can.
He nods.
I know I should have asked you first, Mr. I don't know if names have been exchanged between the two of you.
I don't know either. You say Marsh Ledger. It's no worry at all. I'll speak it over with the other members, but I don't think it'll be an issue.
She nods and says, I would greatly appreciate that, just to try and make sure that some people are taken care of. I would go myself, but I have to make sure that the three we have stay stable.
You have your work set out here. And yeah.
She nods and says that she has some things that she needs to prepare for her, the ones here, and that she'll be back over to the main building shortly.
Okay. So then we head back, I guess.
Do you want to get dropped over there or walk over?
Yeah, you could do that. Well, it's like I'm gonna talk to Island while we're walking, but I could do that in chat. It's no big deal.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you talk, dang it.
I'm gonna plop y'all right here for now.
Sad Eilon
Right up.
noises.
She goes over here.
Does his voice sound strange or anything, or is it just quiet?
It's just really quiet.
Okay.
He doesn't talk much.
Okay. Back to Minx. You were checking something. I think, Ori, you were waiting for everybody to get back first.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll for. Don't you have a dagger?
Maybe she just likes taking other people's daggers. Klepto in the making. You know how people steal pens?
I mean, knowing what I know about her, it wouldn't be far. But
I know. That'd be a hilarious quirk, though. Can I borrow your dagger real quick and then just never give it back?
just eventually becomes made of knives.
A whittling tool. Hey, those are very sharp. Not sure you want to get blood on that though.
I'm afraid to know where this is going, but Ori, where do you wear your dagger?
On the hip.
I mean, you do look around and you do see that Ori has a dagger. You see that. Where would he keep his?
Steal it from Embers, come on. Because I would love to be there to see that.
This is to see where he keeps his dagger, because I'm curious. Okay. He keeps it there. Yeah, you see Ori has one on his hip, and you don't see any visible weapons on Almer, even though you know he's armed, so...
I forget, is it cold, like, what's the weather like right now, currently?
I want to say it's winter. Like winter 2.
So then I would most likely be wearing my leather jacket, so it might be partially covered up. Just saying.
I think it's winter 3, snow please stop. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that for everyone? Or specifically me? Jess?
Huh?
Was the calendar for everyone?
Yeah, it's for everybody. I just don't have anybody else's anything, so I was just like, I figured you would do it eventually.
Okay.
It's like, I hope it helps, because it certainly will help me to keep track of the dates you've given me.
Going into chat is a calendar that Jess has made up for us, so that you know what the current day is, or any birthdays that might be coming.
Aw, yeah.
They're bleeding again! Hmm.
First thing, roll me a sleight
What?
of hand. Because I want to see how quickly you get this thing out and fucking shank this goddamn tied up boar.
Can I do a perception?
Are you watching her like a hawk?
Not like a hawk. Did she roll a stealth?
She's gonna get us such bad reviews.
I'm in the same room as her. I guess I'm not. I would be looking around at her, but not watching her like a hawk.
Okay. You did see her walk over towards the boar, so that would catch your attention. So yes, you can get a perception against that. That one's standing there, so that's 1, 2. Everyone in the room sees as Marsh walks over to this boar.
Minx, don't blame Marsh.
I said the wrong name? I'm sorry. Everyone in the room sees as Minx walks over to the boar and is looking her over. And, like she says, not hiding it in any way, starts looking through her bag and pulls out this whittling knife and motions to go, like, I'm assuming stab, in a clinical way, the boar. Anybody who attempts to stop her, because everyone saw it, that's in the room, I said that. Everyone that was in the room sees it. Go ahead and make a Dex saving throw to try and stop her from stabbing this boar.
Where's that?
You're not in the room, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Probably don't have proficiency in it. Okay. Between Ori and Almere, they actually do grab and stop Minx from making this cut and, like, pull her hand back with whittling knife in hand. That is kind of rolled into your sleight of hand. You can try and make a dex saving to break it yourself. And you would have to beat Ori 16 because Almere is helping. So Ori and Almere do successfully stop you from making this cut.
The hell do you think you're doing?
So, like, probably right about this time is when Isla, Marsh, and Shanta would, like, walk into the carpenter shop.
It seems that way.
Yeah, so it'd just feel like they'd walk...
Proceeding, so yeah.
Walk in and just see, like, everybody, like... It'd be such a scene!
Like,
what are the other townsfolk doing?
You see... the two that are standing, just making sure nothing goes wrong, are, like, ready to intervene should they have to do anything to stop Minx from, like, harming one of the wares or one of the lichens, but they aren't, like, trying to draw weapons or anything, so they're just standing there currently, just watching this situation go down.
Okay, so is it safe to say, like, they walk in right about this time?
It is safe to say that they walk in about that time. When you, Marsh, and Eilon walk in, you see Ori and Almere holding back... Well, first off, give me a perception to see how much of this you see.
Yeah, because we're talking. Do-do-do-do.
Me too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
I am distracted. I am coaching this young man.
One person, not her. Not him either. Her. That's the one I want. Double click. That one. Okay. Oh, this does not bode well. Okay.
Oh, Elfine's with us? Oh, never mind. I
rolled the wrong one, yeah.
Yes, I got it.
Marsh, when you walk in, you're looking back over your shoulder, talking with Eilon, like you said, coaching this young man and figuring out how much of an escort mission he's going to be. And you don't see it. But not right away, anyway. Eilon and Shanta, when they walk in, well, I take that back. Marsh, you do see the struggle going on, and that kind of distracts you from what you were saying when you walked in. But you just see the struggle in and of itself. Eilon and Shanta, when the two of you walk into the room, you see the tall elf, the rodent, and the gnome are probably about here, actually. Like that. You see the three of them right in front of the boar, who is thrashing, like, almost, I want to say uncontrollably, if she wasn't already tied up in the chair. You see Ori holding the gnome's arm, or the rodent holding the gnome's arm, and you see the elf standing behind holding the gnome back. And looking at the whole situation, you and Shanta both see that there is a small knife in this gnome's hands. You see the other lichens standing around, not really hostile, but with concerned looks on their faces. To this, Shanta walks in, sees all this going down, looks over to Marsh and says, is this the company you keep? Figures. She shakes her head and she walks in.
Marsh would be, I think, stunned. He would not expect this. He'd just be like, what is going on? But I'm sure by, like, that point, it's like, Ori and Elmer have, like, pulled her back, right? So it's like, the moment's over.
Yeah.
Shanta walks
Like-
and looks at everybody, looks at Almer, who she's presuming is the one supposedly in charge, and says, "What exactly is going on here?" To which he has a dumbfounded look on his face. He says, "I'm not exactly sure. I was about to ask my compatriot, compatriot here, what exactly she was doing." At the very least, Almer and Shanta are both looking at Minx.
Ilon just like stays out of everything. Like he doesn't really want to mess around with that because he doesn't know them. So he just
Yeah.
stays back watching. But if things escalate, he will get in the middle of that.
Okay.
But for now, he's back.
Does Minx like relent? Is she still fighting? Is she still is she waving that knife around?
I hope not.
Is there going to be any explanation?
No.
The two people that were standing around the boar walk in and they start trying to calm her down. And a couple moments later, the boar does eventually calm down.
Ori and Almer electrocuted, like, to kill the censor?
They hadn't worked out a plan, but Almer had recommended possibly tasing the exact spot.
Mm.
To fry the circuitry of it.
Is she still holding the knife? I'm guessing. Nobody took it from her? Hmm.
Not yet.
Or you're holding a knife hand. Did you take the knife or no?
No.
Okay. So yes, she is still holding it.
Hmm.
Minx, are you yelling this or is this like fast speech? So you are yelling this? Okay.
Marsh is inclined to like stride forward. He wants to take the knife from her because obviously it's just like she's being crazy. But he wants to know what did Almer and Ori come to the conclusion of.
Are you asking that?
Yeah, it would be essentially like takes knife, attempts to take knife. Like, will I have to roll anything for that, Cheryl?
Probably a sleight of hand versus her sleight of hand. But
And I guess if the situation has de-escalated, depending on that roll, I'll go into details.
Success!
Alright, cool. So,
And then he would turn to Almer and Ori and be like, what did you guys determine? He's trying very hard not to be really angry.
before
okay, so
anything is spoken, you do get the knife. But before you can even, like, whip around and, like, start digging into those two, Shanta says, you know what? No. Everybody out. Everybody back over to the mayor's house. We're not doing this in front of them. They've already been through enough.
okay. Aye. Bam.
Fuck, that did not help. Okay.
So are y'all coming? Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to drag her out.
Where does Mix kink him? Like in the shin? Goodness. Is Elmer still holding her, or is she free, or like I'm assuming no one's holding her because she like kicked me.
Well, not holding her. He has her held back. And is easily helping Ori, like, manhandle her out of the out of the area. So, at the very least, they get her out here.
Okay.
Shanta goes in, walks over to the two people, says something for a couple moments. Don't break it, pretty boy. Comes back out, and are y'all, like, physically walking her? Like, what do you want to do with her? Or, because Almera is kind of following your lead for simplicity on my side right now.
Well, Minx, are you struggling? Or do you pretty much calm down when we get outside of the building?
Yeah, pissed, but is she like fighting back, or is she just enduring?
Yeah.
Like, do they have to physically wrestle you back over to the mayor's house?
Okay. Can Marsh literally wants to pin her ass to the ground. So what is that?
That's
It's a strength roll, right?
that's the DM looking up grappling rules.
It's. Why does Marsh keep grappling stuff? I don't get it.
It is a strength. It's an athletics versus either athletics or acrobatics. So.
Ah. Fuck it, Marsh. Come on. Wait. She's just quick.
I'm half tempted to just leave her to her tantrum, but at the same time, I don't want her to go back in there.
Oh, come on, Almere. It's up to you, Ori.
Mm.
Alright. Mace
She's
broke
tiny.
free of the grapple.
What did she do?
And please don't make me say roll initiative. As much as I would love to see you all fight each other, it's the first damn mission. But from the looks of it, Marsh came in to try and like keep her from kicking everybody. And
No, it wasn't even. It's not even that. That's why he wanted to pin her ass, is because she kicked them.
he went in to try and stop it, and ended up like tripping over like,
Everybody else.
Almere's leg as he's like trying to position himself to hold her properly. Ends up tripping and freeing her because he knocked both Almere and Ori off center.
Dang it!
Sorry.
Sure you are.
Oh yes, I am. I wish pain upon Minx at the moment.
Y'all are insane.
Welcome to player characters.
We're not insane. I think Minx is the only one insane.
All player characters are insane.
That's
Everyone
Yeah.
knows this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I agree. Ming seems insane.
we're just trying to cope with this insanity.
Poor
Yeah.
things.
Almere looks to her and says, "The boar was already tied to a chair and thrashing. How would you have gotten a good cut as it was?"
Gotta learn some teamwork, girly.
No kidding.
Hopefully. Maybe, you know. Can't exactly force someone into teamwork.
And Almere adds, like, partially looking towards Shanta as he's, like, saying this. And I'm sure they might even have some kind of tranquilizers that would work on the, like, transformed half. It would work on the hybrid. Shanta says, "I can't say for sure, but I'm sure Elfine has something that might have knocked her out, so we can get that out." But what the hell was going on in there?
Not only that, but if they're guarded, then who cares if they know where they're at? Not like they're gonna be taken or something. Necessarily.
Man, ants are everywhere.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cold,
Yeah.
and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marsh wants to redirect though, real quick, because they're talking about like why she did it. Marsh wants to remark upon the fact of, just like wait. First off, we should address the fact that you're supposed to be a fucking professional, and here you go, attacking claiming you're helping, but attacking somebody like that's helpless with a knife, not telling anybody what you're doing. And on top of that, you get pissed at us for stopping you because of what you're doing, and you kick us like a fucking child.
Ouch. I mean, you're not wrong, but ouch.
Yes.
My.
It's like we're supposed to. We're working as a team. We're supposed to work as a team. That means communication. That means you need to tell everybody what we are planning on doing instead of just jumping off the gun and doing crazy shit. I know. I like so such just to type all this up. The suspense is so real. What makes it even funnier is that it says "crazy lady is typing."
Wouldn't it be dull from cutting it wood?
Please tell me that was in character.
And not sterile?
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
Not only that, but no one was settled on putting an electric current through them. And I'm gonna glare at Almer again.
It's on the table. It's not a solution. It's not a final solution.
Exactly.
Why is it so important to remove the damn tracker? It's like anybody that's going to be looking for them knows exactly where they are.
Yeah. Possibly even sent them here on purpose.
And for example, like, yes, they have a hunk of metal underneath their skin. If they want to have it removed later, after all this shit is accomplished and done, they can have it removed later at their own will.
The only foreseeable problem would be is if it, released a poison or some sort, but wouldn't they have already done it already? You know?
It's really great that it does say crazy lady is typing.
I know!
I just don't think it's our decision to make.
Almera would chime in with a piece of information saying that the type of trackers that are usually used under the skin are the same kind of trackers that they would put into a dog. And dogs can have those in there for their entire lifespans with no ill effects.
Exactly. It's not more dangerous. You can easily monitor its location.
I'm not saying that this one is purely just a tracker. It could be something more, but from what we've seen and from the amount of time that they've been unaccounted for, if we would have seen something, it would have happened. Shanta walks over towards Almer and says, "Can I have a word with you, please? Over here."
Oh gosh.
And the two of them walk off.
How far do they walk?
They get some distance.
Like, can I still read their mouths? Like, are they still visible?
She's a politician, of course not.
Damn it! You know I have that too. You probably forgot though.
I did forget that,
Okay.
but she's a politician.
Okay, so even that point aside, Minx, it's still the issue of this whole situation is that you're not communicating with your team. That's what created this whole problem. You aren't acting like a team member, a teammate. You are acting like a solo operation, and it is not.
Marsh has a point.
Ori has a cosign.
Ori has a what?
Ori has a cosign.
Yeah. I co-signed it. Means it's true.
Damn it. I think I got it backwards, as always.
No, you don't do the, here,
Oh, wait,
I can
yeah,
do it.
It's this one.
Yeah, you don't do that like squiggle, you do the parentheses.
That one.
Perfect.
My god. The thing is, I literally copy and pasted that into another tab.
That you left me to die. Okay, so being part of a team is not about one time working as a team. It's about doing it all the time. So you think you acted as a teammate when we first got here that first night. What about today? And secondly, when you're working as a team, you're supposed to respect your teammates, and that means not kicking them in the shins.
me a perception?
Alright. Boop. You know you want to use that 20, right?
Totally, yeah.
Mm.
So you're saying that you were impatient? Really, that gives no reason. Okay, everybody left. We were doing different things to help the situation. They were arguing because they were debating what they were going to do next. That's no proof to support why what you did was right. Being being passive aggressive about a situation allows me to at least think before I do something that. Oh, geez. Allows me to think before I do something instead of being impulsive and jumping off the gun and doing something that other people perceive as seriously dangerous, putting other people in danger, or possibly doing harm to people that you mean to do well to. You need to think more before you act. You need to communicate before you act. He's like, I'm not sure I want to travel with these guys anymore. They seem unstable.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that is what he's like. I'm joking.
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. These people come in, we're supposed to be professionals, and then we're like having all this inbickering. This is really... See, we were hired for a reason too. And we're still learning the group dynamic. It's kind of what part of this exercise is about, is to understand each other. Learn that trust. Just by getting a paycheck doesn't mean that you're trustworthy.
This is true. I'll really be a hardened criminal.
I'm loving every minute of this.
Are you gonna re-listen to like this this recording after the fact? Just be like, yes, I did good. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Say, by the way, Marsh isn't yelling. He's speaking sternly, but he's not yelling. I'm not sure. I'm assuming Minx is yelling, because she's pretty emotional.
Totally.
So with that information, I now have Marsh being the infuriating, I am calm while you're yelling person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I haven't had this much argument in a role play, like vocal arguments in a role play, like ever. It's quite overwhelming. I do not speak well when mad.
Yeah. I can feel you there. Never been much one for like debate or like actually like you get so focused on your own argument that I don't know. It's hard to talk about it and convince somebody to see your own side of it at the same time. Because that's what you're doing, is just trying to persuade her to understand your point of view.
It is almost 11. How much more time does everyone have for tonight?
I can go as long as I want.
Okay.
I'm getting pretty tired, actually.
Did you want to try and put a pin in this for next week, or?
Personally, yes. But if anybody has anything that they would like to finish before we finish for the night, I can also understand that. Does that make sense?
I think it'd be good to try to finish this argument at least.
I was just trying to figure out what exactly we're moving on into, because for the purposes of the argument, if you need to, you can peace out, I'm sure. Oh, Heather, Ori?
Okay. I guess I would just keep a general eye out then on the receiver to see if anything pings in the meantime. Other than those three, you know. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to do a perception or anything?
Yeah, you've been distracted with some other things. Just do a perception to see how close eye you're keeping on it.
What'd you say?
Do a perception just to see how close of an eye you're keeping on that receiver.
God.
Okay.
Ori, don't be tired as well. Only one of us is allowed to be tired, Ori. So you're not going to discuss what Almer and Santa said yet?
Not yet.
Cool. Then I am going to peace out, and I had a lot of fun tonight. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. You have a good night.
Good night.
Sleep well.
See you in a bit.
Minx, you are giving evidence from a situation that I was not involved with. I cannot confirm or deny what you did yesterday. I came into the situation, everybody was getting attacked by the Lycans. As it is now, you're telling us to trust you, but I'm finding it harder and harder to trust you because you keep on doing unreasonable things. And it seems unreasonable because you're not telling anybody what you're doing before you do it. Yes, I argued with you yesterday about going out in the middle of the night to scope out the territory. We spoke about it, and then you went anyways. That's fine. We still talked about it, knew you were going, and it turned out that it was a good idea. But I still felt reason to voice my concerns.
Ilan just kind of scoots back from the situation.
I know, we're scaring this poor kid. But he's not a kid though, right? He's like in his 20s?
He's 28. But he is slightly childlike, I guess. He can be.
Got them book learnings instead of that battle learnings.
Ooh.
So, Minx, I'm not condemning your motives. Your motives seem good. You're trying to do good, but it's the way you're approaching them. Honestly, you're just approaching it, and you're like, it seems very spontaneous. And spontaneity in this particular line of work is not the safest environment when you're working with the team. It's the fact that you considered it without involving others. How do you think it looked? Seriously, you drawing your whittling tool and just like going after the lycanthrope in there. It didn't look good. It looked so bad that your comrades intervened. Shanta's done eating popcorn.
Hmm?
Like, I say Shanta's done eating popcorn. She's like, I'm leaving this.
No.
You're just being unreasonable in all this. You're not looking at the other side of the coin here. You're just focused on what you feel, why you did what you did. I'm not condemning why you felt you had to do what you did, but you're not looking at it from our perspective. You have no... the anger doesn't go only one way. What time is it, by the way? Well,
11:11. Oh, in the day?
yeah, because
Y'all came over here at...
I don't remember.
noon,
I just know it was
basically?
morning.
I think y'all came over around noon at this point. So it's probably approaching 1:30.
Okay.
I'm sure if I went back into the video, I'd find that number horribly wrong. But
I didn't realize it was that late. That was, yeah.
I want to say y'all had breakfast.
And then we
and
went.
then went straight
Chris.
out. So actually, no, it was probably earlier than that. You're probably right. Had breakfast. Then you and Ori went to go look for Shanta. I think.
And then we wound up
went over there.
Chance of breakfast too, yeah. It was morning. It was like we finished eating, went over, essentially went straight to the carpenter's
Yeah.
place. Essentially, Ori did his thing. Minx did her thing with the blood transfusions.
Yeah, it's probably about 11 now. 11 going
Okay.
on 11:30. So revise that time.
Okay. So we went, Minx, we went our separate paths because we have our own separate expertise. I don't recall you being a surgeon. You did good work with the blood, but was Elmer talking to Shanta, by the way?
They're having sidebar. Not really out of
Okay.
earshot, but it's not loud enough for them to be heard.
Mm-hmm. You posted for Elmer. That's why I was questioning.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we've reached a point where it's like we can agree to disagree, honestly. The bottom line is you're asking for trust. I will do my best to trust you, honestly, but as it goes from here on out, you need to show better respect for your teammates. So that means not kicking us. That means, like, obviously not insulting us. The next time you, like, lay a hand to me, seriously, I will not hold back. Because it was just total disrespect. You were acting like a child. Throwing a temper tantrum. Are you still recording, by the way, Will?
I am.
Okay.
I'm not, no.
No, I was rolling for something else, totally unrelated to you. It's just easier than going to another roller or getting another die.
The only time I'll make you roll for a hug is if you're in an arrow lore situation. Or you decide that you want to hug a monster that you're actively fighting.
Because it's kind of like a grapple. Alright, by that point, it's like Marsh is still heated, but he would just like exhale. Okay, so what did you guys find while I was gone, looking at Ori? So.
And that is where we pause it.
Okay.
So when we come back next session, we will have Ori explaining what he and Almer found. And everyone is exchanging information amongst themselves.
Yep. And you said it was about 11:30, right? I'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
My note. Minx and Marsh kind of made up. Kinda.
I'm gonna go ahead and put experience in chat now. Like, I'm still game to hang around if anybody else needs to talk about anything. But experience is there, so everyone can bail when they want to.
Woot.
It was very, very RP heavy to this game. So
Yes, it was. It was intense.
To the extent of Marsh and Minx, if you didn't already have inspiration, go ahead and take that again.
Woot!
Because that was a very interesting back and forth.
I got my first inspiration. I am so proud of myself. But I can't math good. Okay.
I bet poor Ilon's just like, what did Elphine want me to do? Oh my god.
Okay, you clocking out, Cheryl?
I don't need sleep.
Sleep is for the weak.
He's still on vacation, kinda.
Yeah, I'm on vacation basically until Monday morning.
That's why I'm still doing okay. I don't work tomorrow.
And then Monday morning I go in, and then I'm off Tuesday because I have doctor's appointments and stuff. Inspiration is going to be on the first page of your sheet. Very bottom, next to where it says death saving throws, it has inspiration. Should be either marked yes or no. If it's marked yes, you already have it. You haven't burned it. You can't stack it up, so you only get one. That's why I say if you didn't have it, go ahead and mark it. So. Just gives you incentive to try and use it in a reasonable manner within a session.
Yeah.
Not just burning it to burn it kind of deal. Because it's not guaranteed you'll get one. The way I am looking at inspiration and the way it can be used, and this is for your benefit and for Rachel's, because I don't think she has heard this either.
No.
The way I'm looking at inspiration is not the same way that the book tells us to use it. I learned it one way from watching a stream. I liked the way they did it. When they read the book and realized they were doing it wrong, it had been too long, and I liked the way they were doing it instead of the way it was supposed to be done. The way I'm looking at it is you can call it beforehand or after. If you call it beforehand on a roll, a d20 roll, it gives you advantage on that roll. Or if you're at disadvantage, it just makes it a regular roll. It cancels out advantage if that's the case. If you have a standard regular roll, it gives you advantage. If you don't call inspiration before you make your roll, and you critically fail something that is very important to you, in your mind's eye basically, then if you burn your inspiration, you get to roll again, but you have to keep the second number. Even if you critically fail again, you have to keep that second roll. So, inspiration can work out in your favor, and it can backfire. So, say you call it beforehand, and it gives you the advantage on the roll, and both of them are critically failed, you still critically fail, because you take the higher of the two. So, let's say your character's down, and you failed 2 death saves, and you have 2 successful death saves, and you're trying to make sure that last one goes through properly. If you call it beforehand, you get the better of the 2 rolls. If you call it after, say you failed this death save, you can potentially save your character and roll again.
It's so bad you don't even recognize what it is, huh, Cheryl? I know, he's pretty distracting. He's so cute.
I have a question.
Hmm.
What exactly does inspiration do?
That was what I was just saying. It allows you to re-roll that d20.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. It allows you to, like, re-roll, especially if it, like, benefits story. Yeah. But you have to use it for your character. You can't use it for other people, right?
You can gift your inspiration. I will allow that. So, say someone is, like, doing something that's story important to them. Like, that's my dad in that train, I need to save him, and you fucking beef the acrobatics to jump on the train. You can, if you have inspiration, not, like, just I give my inspiration, you don't have it, it doesn't work that way. If you have inspiration from me, not the bardic inspiration that you have, Rachel, that's a different thing. Yours is different. If you have inspiration that came from me, then you can gift that to other people.
Alright.
And if y'all allow me to doom dice things, then I will let y'all inspiration my things.
I thought you said if we inspiration your things, then you're gonna bring in the Doom dice.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all allow me to doom dice, then y'all can inspiration my things, because I have doom dice. And I'll make you re-roll shit. He's like, no, that didn't happen. Re-roll that. It's a tempting concept, I know.
The concept of a GM having Doom dice just makes me incredibly wary. You can put whatever stake you want on that hook. I'm not sure I'm going to bite.
Hey,
Ever.
Man, all it is making sure that certain plot elements possibly happen. If the dice aren't working with me, then I have a chance of making them work with me. That's all it is. Same way if the dice aren't working for y'all. And who said that my job is specifically to kill you guys?
That's what GMs always claim.
I want to kill you, but I don't want to kill you. If I wanted to kill you, then I would just drop a nuke and everyone dies.
But you gotta like, yeah, that's no fun.
Right. It's like, oh, you drink bad water, enjoy your worms. Everyone dies.
Alright, Origin Trail, calm down.
If you didn't hear that over the recording, Heather said, alright, Oregon Trail, calm down. Minx amuses me greatly also.
Oh yeah, it's like she amuses. She's hilarious. Dysentery, right?
Right?
Woo. Oregon Trail all over again. So, Galaki, do you have any like questions about the world or anything? I don't know. We could small talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Get you more comfortable with it.
I'm not sure. No immediate questions come to mind.
What? Anything you would like to know about the world?
I guess just
Like-
what it's like. I don't know.
Like, what do you mean what it's like?
Like the cultures, the climates, the how big it is, wars, things like that.
I guess, like, how big is it? Like, what's all in the world?
You haven't seen the world map. Now I'm thinking about it.
I think I have. I think I've seen, like, the continent map. Question mark?
This is the continent map.
Yeah, I've seen this one. But I haven't seen the entire world.
Entire world doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, it exists. We just don't refer to it.
The only one that's mechanically seen other continents is Minx, and she doesn't have a map. So yeah.
Clever way to get around that, GM.
Oh.
So, yeah, we're in the top of where it says party.
Mhm.
So, in the northern, yeah.
Dragonwood looks interesting. That's for sure.
Dragonwood is the main capital of the continent. The party is based out of Fortuna currently. That is where their main base is.
Interesting.
Or at least their main base, per se. There are multiple locations that they can work out of.
Yeah.
For this, I'm going to actually stop the recording, but we can keep talking.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, it has been fun, and I'll try to get the next recording up as soon as possible.
Good
Ooh.
night.